Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of my Kickstarter GG I series. My apologies for a huge break in the series due to juggling care for two sick adults, but I am proud to be able to finally present to you today a new episode on a game I think has really huge potential, and I think you should check out. I'm of course talking about Circle of Kerzoven. A link to their Kickstarter page will be in the description, so you can check it out for yourself, or go ahead and back it if you like what you see. Also, if you enjoyed today's episode, please do consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel, so you can be the first to know about the future episodes. So, let's start with the basics. What is Circle of Kerzoven? Well, let me take you on a journey. The year is 1012 and there's a pocket of untouched, underrated land that's almost uninhabited, yet it's surrounded by great kingdoms who suffer from issues of overpopulation. It's your task to bring together a small group of people and forge a path towards establishing a settlement capable of a comfortable living for its inhabitants in this uncharted land, and ultimately establish yourself as a power economically competitive with the other nearby kingdoms, whilst also handling matters of trade and diplomacy. Circle of Kerzoven is a game heavily focused towards survival and the choices you make on the journey to technological advancement. You'll need to seek out vital resources, handle harsh winters, and discover new regions. In Circle of Kerzoven, the world is alive and you have to balance between wildlife and humans in order to ensure resources are sustainable and the world is not damaged in your journey to expand and grow your population. They specifically mention on the Kickstarter page rivers drying up and plagues of rats. As you progress through the game, you can complete quests and forge trade relationships. They've also listed the option for players to make their own scenarios, which opens up a world of possibilities for extra content from the community itself. The developers of Circle of Kerzoven are seeking £13,006 to help fund the remainder of the project, and in addition to this, they've stated on the page that if they reach 20k Steam wishlists, they will add a new animal, and likewise also for 1k Discord members. The Kickstarter page offers a dizzying array of levels that you can back, which this seems a bit full on, but thankfully they have a really helpful graphic to break it down. There's a total of 22 backing levels, each with their own rewards, and I can't go into all of them here on this video, but here's a few highlights and the rest are on screen for you. Getting a copy of the game, for example, at $20.50, pre-launch access at $37.50, VIP hike and grill at $107. The opportunity to build your own settler at $214, and right at the tippy top there's options for things like becoming a quest giver, in-game monuments, and a whole lot more. One thing you will notice from the backing levels is the lack of physical goods on offer. However, they have stated a big part of this is to avoid issues around environmental impact of things like shipping, and they have a heavy focus on sustainability. My first criticism of this would be, well, digital goods and distribution also have their impact. This is addressed in the campaign page. This organisation is from Switzerland, and things like their electricity, for example, is heavily biased towards renewable resources like hydropower. This doesn't entirely eliminate their footprint, but it does go a long way into reducing their impact. I would also argue not being distracted by sending out physical goods means the budget can go towards the game itself, and staffing time is not taken out trying to deliver stuff around the world. All in all, I respect this because they're being realistic. They're not getting distracted by offering loads of physical fluff, and it's not taking away from the team's time and resources, and enables them to keep focused and keep things simple and keep on that game at all times. I can understand, however, that for some, considering to back this, that the decision to not have physical goods in the backing options will be a bit jarring, and it could lead to putting a few people off. The developers outline that they're inspired by games like Banished, Dwarf Fortress, and Timberborn, and in particular they have a deep love and appreciation for how Banished has consistent simulation of its villagers. With this in mind, the team wanted to take it a step further and do not just the same for the humans, but also the animals and plants in the surrounding world. Marco, who's the original solo developer of the game, has a background in systems engineering and developing detailed simulation models, so this integrates well into his background, and of course is the foundation upon which Circle of Kerzoven is built. As it stands, the game is a fair way along in development, and it's currently expected to release in 2025, with an early access version anticipated for Q4 of 2023. As of the opening of the Kickstarter, there's an alpha demo that anyone can try and have a go at. I actually played this demo, and my first experience of it is available in another video, which will be linked in the description, but I will give you a summary of my thoughts later on in this video, so make sure to stay tuned for that. At present, Circle of Kerzoven has 8 members of staff with a variety of backgrounds and expertise in the industry. Prior to the team becoming what it is today, Marco worked on the project solo for 5 years. They also mentioned that others work on the project but on a part-time basis with their income supplemented by other jobs. However, in addition to the team, they also have a board of advisors who've worked on some very credible and well-established titles within the same genre. On this team of advisors is Philomena Schwab, who's the co-founder of Straythorn, which you might actually recognize because it's the studio behind The Wandering Village, which is an amazing game, by the way. You really do need to play it. It's fantastic. They also have Rufus Kubica, who is the project management lead for 11-Bit Studios, which is well known, of course, for Frostpunk. And then finally, they have Jason Della Roca, who is well connected generally within the industry and the co-founder of Execution Labs. I haven't really got much to say on the budgeting front. I feel like the plan outline makes perfect sense. I, of course, do not have the full picture of what's going on behind the scenes with regards to the game and its actual current state of development, but the reward cost being low makes perfect sense. And what with this being a simulation-driven game, of course, programming time and costs are going to be high. We are, of course, talking about a small budget in terms of video games as a whole, so I'll be interested to see what they can achieve with that 15% allocated to marketing. Getting attention on a new game is not easy, especially on Steam, where it's highly saturated with releases. However, if they can garner enough interest and really push the volume of people hitting the follow and the wishlist button, it will go a really long way in helping it surface to a wider audience. The developers, as all reasonable project owners should, acknowledge that there is risks. However, given the game is already very advanced in its development and the team are confident they can deliver, this Kickstarter is just to get the game through that last push towards release. Games that attempt very in-depth simulation with vast numbers of entities are of course very risky in nature due to the cost, the extensive development time, and of course the performance implications and technical hurdles it can create. But the developers acknowledge this and are mindful of this at every step of development. I think they have the expertise and the level-headedness in order to tackle this head-on in a sensible fashion, but I've no doubt there's going to be some bumps in the road getting past these hurdles as they arise. The developers were kind enough to grant me access to the alpha demo ahead of the Kickstarter opening, and between then and making this video, I've had 2 runs on the game so far. It is, of course, an alpha, so it won't be representative of the end product, but I can see the foundations of a really solid game, and it has a lot of potential. I feel the game has a strong visual appeal, and it has a well-thought-out gameplay loop. Some of the really crucial structures like storage management are missing and villagers constantly moan about dirt. But I can see from the building tree there are buildings for this specifically, but they just can't be used in the demo. So there's clearly a plan in place for the mechanics and they're implemented. You just currently have no way to playably solve it. They're locked. The missing things can create some interesting issues in the demo, but I'm confident this won't be a problem at release. Overall, the game is responsive. The premise and the setup is great, the tutorial tasks are well structured, and the UI is well laid out. I've explored the building tree and I feel it's perhaps a little oversimplified, but again, we're just getting a first glimpse, so there may be a lot more that's in the works. Overall, this is actually one of the best experiences I've had of playing an alpha. I don't typically see something this polished at this stage. A quick note on the general presentation of the Kickstarter page before we conclude today's episode. All in all, the campaign page is very clear and to the point. It gives enough detail to paint a picture of the team's vision without adding too much bloat. The graphics are well produced and are very clear with great theming. The page is well structured with its section and has a good flow which really takes you on the journey of the team's passion and aspirations. And I appreciate personalised touches like helping us to get to know the team behind the project, understanding their passions for these types of games, and understanding that the team has expertise in this and I feel will have the expertise to pull it off. And also, as well, give us an insight into the additional backing they have in the form of the industry veterans that clearly have a pedigree for this type of game. Circle of Kerzoven has a very solid Kickstarter page, which takes you on the journey of how it started, where we are now, and the clear vision of the end product that they want to share with the world. Their core team has a great set of skills, and they've got veterans in the industry at their side giving them advice, and for this, I have every confidence this project will release, and it will be a great game. Having played the alpha, my only concern really is how in-depth the building tree and diplomatic relations will really go, and I really admire the lofty aspirations when it comes to the level of simulation they want to create, and I appreciate the grounded approach, but they understand that such goals do come with risks and there's major technical hurdles to overcome. It is clear that they really care about what they're making and they want to make something of quality and really take it to the next level. It'll be interesting to see how far they really get given the limited budget and the expected development cycle. I would, of course, normally be alarmed by how low that fundraising goal is, given the remaining timeline for development and the fact that they have a team of 8 to keep them going, and the fact that, what's being proposed from a technical standpoint. However, they've explained this pretty well, due to the fact it's like the stage of development, for example, and how long it's been worked on so far, the fact that staff have other jobs to supplement their income, etc. gives me less concern as a result. I do have a worry about that marketing budget. I feel like it's going to be a little bit stretched, but we'll just have to see how things go. I can see already a strong community rallying behind this project and cheering it on, and with good reason. I think this will be one to watch, and it's worth backing if you take a keen interest in simulation and colony games, and I really do wish the team behind Circle of Kerzoven the best. Thank you to everyone who has made it to the end of the video, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to my thoughts. If you like the look of Circle of Kerzoven, please do go back it on Kickstarter and go follow them on social media. The links for this will, of course, be in the description of the video. And if you'd like to support me and want to help me bring more episodes to life, please do like this video and subscribe to my channel. You can also go find me over on Twitch, where we play the games like Circle of Kerzoven live. We get a hands-on experience as a community, so please do come drop in and take part. Also, please do comment your thoughts in the section below. I'd love to hear what you think. But ta-ra for now. Thanks for watching.